In the early stages of a startup, employees tend to be very effective operating totally independently from other teams. And that's for a couple reasons. First, employees tend to be just the single person in their department. And then the second reason is they're creating that department totally from scratch. But once a startup has any amount of success, of course, they're going to hire more people. And when that occurs, there's also another thing happening, which is not only will there be more people in the company, but all of those individual departments of one person, they're no longer focused on the basic building blocks, right? They've already got a sales process. They've already got a client onboarding process. Now the work is getting more complex. You have to iterate on those existing processes. That's harder to do than just building them from scratch. You have to figure out how those processes might work between operations and product. Maybe previously operations was handling a process entirely on their own, but the next iteration of that process maybe needs to involve product. As the complexity of that work increases and there are more people doing that work, there is this pivot point where the optimal way of doing that work is no longer for individuals to work entirely on their own, and it becomes more optimal to work as a team. And this pivot point where companies need to start operating as teams rather than a group of individuals doing work on their own, that point is where I see a lot of my clients and generally fast growing startups, literally every single one I've ever worked for, get really tripped up.